See the word on. You are live.
Let's
It
go.
says I'm on.
We on live, baby.
It says I'm on.
You on. Slide through podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, share. Do it all. We're on all platforms. Go follow us. We live today, fellas. So let's be somewhat cautious.
Cautious. Well, y'all niggas ain't cautious. I was the first one to try to stop cursing.
No.
Y'all niggas were just potty mouths.
Well, what's wrong with cursing?
I mean, you're trying to
It.
not be flagged, or you want these videos to kind of,
I know, but
you know.
is cursing really bad? Like a curse word? It's like a made up word.
That's all it is. It's just
Not necessarily. I guess it's what's the intention? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm saying intent, but it show emotions behind the word. Some
Yeah,
words,
it
sometimes,
does.
sometimes you gotta say fuck.
Not sure who made a curse word bad to say. I mean, that's good research to look up, but you're right. It's just a word.
It's just a word.
Just the word.
Just a word. I guess it's just like saying the N-word.
The N-word
kind of is a word, but the intentions behind it is what makes it bad.
That's good, but white boy coming to you like, hey, get
right.
Hey, homeboy.
So it's like, I guess curse words are universally just labeled as bad, whereas we've stolen the power from the N-word a little bit to where it's not as.
See little white kids cuss their parents out all the time. It's like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're doing it. I don't think they're doing it like
speak his mind.
It's
okay.
Billy speak his fucking mind. He's good. Or it's like, what a fucking great time. You know what I'm saying?
You're like the other cultures said it's bad.
What's that?
The C word.
Yeah, that's universally for some reason, especially women. Women hate it's
say that word.
It's
how many letters?
Forbidden.
How do you spell
it? C-U-N-T. Oh. I was like, hey, y'all so high school. So high school. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all guys.
What's the question?
Being that we're men, and I don't want to say new age, but it's something we should have been doing. How do you guys get emotional space within relationships? Dating, serious, whatever, friendships. How do y'all get emotional space?
Emotional space.
You want me to elaborate more on what I want?
A little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
So as far as emotional space, like in a relationship, most cases men don't really express how they feel about situations, emotions, or anything like that. We keep that kind of stuff to the inside. We may pop off a few cuss words here and there, but like actually expressing how we feel, we don't do that because we don't really have the space to do it because it's either seen as weakness or we don't have the opportunity because the time don't present itself because us showing us trying to be emotional ain't fixing the problem, whatever the problem may be. That's in relationships and in friendships. So I'm asking, how do you guys carve out and make sure you have enough emotional space within your relationships? What are some tactics y'all might use?
Man, for me, I don't want to say everyday conversation. Sometimes you almost feel a little bit more comfortable talking to a stranger.
Okay.
Like just like everyday conversation, but I guess it just comes through nonchalantly. I guess for me sometimes it just packs in and then eventually explodes. Whereas I don't make it a regular occurrence. To like, hey, on Tuesdays I should really talk to somebody, or I should practice this exercise.
Somebody like your homeboy, somebody like you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, I mean, there's certain things that you probably feel ashamed to tell your homeboys. I don't know if y'all feel it. Like you feel like you could tell your homeboy everything, or just certain stuff you're like, fuck, man, that's embarrassing.
I think I could tell y'all everything, but I know it may come with some kind of
judgment
or something. But I'm one of the people. I'm different. Like I don't know judgment zone. No, judge because your judgment is your honest opinion.
Right. There's few people like I said, not everybody, like because you got homeboys and you got homeboys. Some you can share a little bit more because y'all have both shared those embarrassment moments. Like you've equally give me some ammo. Now I can give you ammo, so you can't judge me.
We ain't gonna be coming back.
Yeah, you can't judge me. So
you got that one homeboy that's gonna say something stupid like
right. Right. Like, come on, bro. You ain't never did that. No. Well, all right. I messed up.
Even with like in the ladies situation, like how do you talk to your lady to make sure she giving you emotional time so you can actually express how you feel?
Well, I think when you start a relationship, you should let the person know that, hey, every week, I do X, Y, and Z. I go out and watch the game. I go and play some sports.
Definitely.
I do something because that is your free time. That is
Right.
your free time.
Need elbow room.
Oh, that is your free time away from work. Her, you've got kids. The kids, you need your time apart. And as far as like having friends that you can talk to, I think you should be able to tell your friends everything. If you're doing something that you feel that you may be it's embarrassing or you may be judged on, you should question yourself on why you're doing it.
I get you on that.
Is it something that you should be doing?
Well, sometimes it's not necessarily that it's something that you're going to do intentionally. It could be something that already happened and you're like, not to say that it's going to be a regular occurrence, but you probably quote unquote fucked up
Yeah, and nothing
that
wrong with
particular
that.
night.
And that's fine.
No. But if I can't tell my homeboys I fucked up without anything like that, but I'm saying so I like what you said when you say you got to get your time away.
Mhm.
So that goes back to what I was saying before. The old generation, even our generation, that's how men dealt with their emotions. We just disappeared for a little while, playing sports, drinking, gambling, whatever it may be, whatever our advice may be. That's how we dealt with it because we never actually talked to our significant other about our problem or what we feeling inside.
Right.
Do you think we're in a time now that we can actually do that? Actually express our feelings to our significant other, to whoever we dating or whatever like that, so they can understand? Or is that still considered a sensitive man or whatever,
I
or a
think
sassy man?
I think it's still considered a sensitive man. But on paper, it looks great if a man shares. Like that's what women now, today's women are saying. Oh, I want a man that shares. He's sensitive and show me his real feelings. I don't think they mean that.
Nobody gonna say
I think they
because
would get just as tired as we
Hey.
would if somebody was complaining about every little bit of thing or whatever. And not to say that guys complain about every little bit of thing, but I think that it's too ingrained that a man acts a certain type of way that, yeah, you want a guy to be sensitive and share, but I feel like maybe once a month you might be okay with that. But if he's coming in every week telling you about his day and how,
really tell him about his day.
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this though. When you get vulnerable with the woman and tell her anything and everything, women, when they upset with you, they're gonna use that as ammo. Like certain men hit women physically, but women abuse men by the things that they say.
Emotionally.
poke, poke,
They,
poke, poke,
they'll
poke, poke,
they'll tell you about yourself. They'll regurgitate what you told them in private, and that'll cut you like a knife.
Because like I thought it was just us talking. I thought I was just sharing. I didn't know it was going.
Exactly.
Oh, now you trying to be all a man, but that nigga at the job was trying your ass.
Yeah.
And that's the way a woman can break a man down, using what he said against him.
But that's how typically how
And I could
women do that anyway. Well, that's what I think that's how they win all arguments.
and I 100% believe that those sensitivity talks or those sensitive information that you're giving to her is going somewhere else.
Yeah,
they're gonna talk about that friend group. They're gonna have a full conversation.
Yeah, you in the group
like
chat.
your information is out there. You're already embarrassed.
Yeah,
you're like somebody knows your business. You're gonna see them every day. Hey, what's up, Trish? How you doing? It's like, hey.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. That's tough. Like, so let's just, for instance, you don't perform like you want to perform in bed because you stressed out, work got you up the ass. Because, you know what I mean? We all have been in situations where either work was slow and we like, okay, where the company going at right now?
Right. Yeah.
Am I in a position to be
Of course.
okay and all that kind of stuff? So you got all these things in your mind. You got mortgages, you know, car insurance, everything else. And you just ain't in the mood to do something. You tell her, like, hey, I just want to let you know this is what I'm going through. Be patient with me.
A little stressed out.
And then she going back to her homegirl telling her, this nigga right here, like dang, dog, like,
why you had to say anything?
That's what I mean by emotional space. Like, how do you get that emotional space and not?
Like, I don't think most men honestly get to have emotional space. At least not with their significant others. I think because we feel like they might say we can, but I don't think most men believe that they can really have that deep, 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 like innermost, worries, conversation. We can do
Insecurities
that.
and
Yeah, we
fears,
can do that
right?
with our boys and get proper advice and work it out better that way, as opposed to worrying if what I did and such, or I actually got to say the words, "Don't tell nobody now."
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have to really say that.
Well, I think a man is supposed to be a leader. And if a man has worries and he tells that to his woman, because if she looks at him as a leader, when that situation happens, hell, she's gonna be worried too, because she's gonna feel her man can't take care of the situation, that he's worried.
So if you express your vulnerability, that kind of put a hurt on your view as a leader.
Yes, you can't express your the kinks in your armor. You
Now you
can't.
think that you think that goes around? Is that universal or just with women as well? Like if you at the job, like you managing men, women and men, and you letting them know that the company ain't doing well and you're not sure what's going on, do that hurt your leadership skills within your group too?
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? Like back in the days when we was playing football when I was playing football for high school, we used to kill all the teams in Broward. But when it came to Miami team, got nervous. And we knew the head coach, the coaches was nervous too, because they was like, we couldn't get past the Miami team. And that attitude, that fear trickled down to us. If our leader said, "Hey, we can do this. I don't care what happened in the past. We're gonna win. We're gonna kick their ass," we will win. But he had fear.
Y'all just go out there and do a good job.
We went out there. We was like,
worry about trying to win. Just go ahead and do the best you can do.
Yeah, we lost before we even got on the field.
Right.
Y'all got on the bus. You on the bus ride. Everybody quiet.
Yeah. So that's why it's important. Don't show your fear to the people that look up to you. You can't show confidence at all times.
And that goes back. That's tough though, because I don't know. I've said it before, but I just imagine. Can you imagine if Superman could never take the cape off? He was never Clark Kent.
Right. He loses himself.
But
that's pretty much how we living right now.
Yeah. And on the flip side, so let's flip it, like you just said. Men are viewed as the leader in a relationship. Whereas the woman, I wouldn't say is, just a foot soldier. Of course not. But again, there has to be a leader. There should be a leader. So what about those women who perceive them to be a leader, the strong, independent woman, say they find a man. Is it even possible for him to share?
If she's still strong and independent with a man, then she ain't. They're not
together. Is he even possible to even get that emotional conversation or clearance?
Okay, y'all fight for position.
Right. Like, when do I have time to be soft if you're the leader, but I think I'm the leader, or you think you're the leader?
But what woman that has a man that's a leader like that?
That she believes she's the leader?
Yeah.
Without saying names, I mean, I could.
You like famous women? You think Oprah?
Famous women?
You think Oprah?
Yeah. Because even though Oprah got more money than Stab and everything, I read an article a long time ago that Oprah wants. She's an animal lover.
Yeah.
And she went to this kennel to adopt some pets. And she got enough money, enough people working for her that she could adopt the whole damn kennel. She could have bought the kennel and everything else. But Stephen told her, "Nah, we getting 2. That's it." And she said, "Okay then," and got 2 dogs and kept it going. But I'm just saying, just hearing him saying that, like, we talking about Stephen who stays in the guest house, but she has enough respect for him to understand, like, okay, he's telling me something I need to know, because me buying a kennel.
If he says no, then
yeah, it's a reason why. Because me buying a kennel just ain't really proper.
Because he's like, I ain't clean up shit.
Exactly.
Because I know you ain't gonna do it.
Right. Is it safe to say then might get in trouble? I don't know, but it's those strong, independent times. It's a facade. It's not real. It's just for show. It's not really. They're trying to believe something to get them past or to another.
I believe
evolution.
Women who are single, with kids, without kids, with no man in their life at all, they put that facade on because they feel they have to do that. I hear women talk about it sometimes, even in the workforce. I got to be this way. Like, who said you had to be that guy? Well, they're not gonna give me a chance. You haven't let them show you they're not gonna give you a chance yet. You going into a situation automatically thinking that it's gonna be aggressive already.
Right.
And sometimes if you go in there to do your job and do the best you can do, you're gonna get recognized. Because again, me personally, I think the world changed a little bit. Talent is talent, and if you own a company or do anything with a company,
right,
you want the best around you, right? But I think that women put this false facade on themselves, saying I got to be this way, or I'm gonna get tried. Sometimes you won't get tried, but when you come in with that aggression, I'm gonna match your aggression because it's a whole bunch of studies out there talk about that kind of stuff. Aggression always gonna match aggression.
But but that's I guess that's taught from their parents, and particularly their mothers. The mother, yeah.
Especially a single mother raised them.
Yeah. So, and that's what hurts them. So yeah. But another question though, does Stedman really stay in the guest house?
That's what they said. Like he has
he don't stay in the guest house.
How big a house is? I'm just I don't know if he stays in there.
I don't follow Oprah like that, but I mean, there's weirder relationships out there, so I didn't know.
Like her and Gail was together, and he was just out there just to be there.
Does Gail have anybody?
No, they single.
I don't think. Yeah,
it's the same situation. Remember that? You remember that room with Whitney Houston, right? Now her best friend was really her lover kind of deal.
That would.
And Bobby was like she liked it both, but the media wouldn't let her like both because back then, especially back then, it's not acceptable.
So, do you think Gail can have a man, and he can tell her his vulnerabilities?
No, I really believe Gail's on that.
Why? Because of her profession.
Her profession.
I wouldn't tell her.
Her profession is to tell.
She's independent.
Yeah,
so
she don't
lead her own life.
Her profession is to tell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think what happened with Whitney Williams. I can't tell you nothing.
Nothing, bro. That's her job to tell all the time.
But again, when you want to put on that, that's a problem. Like Whitney Williams carried herself as a strong, even though she was married and nothing else. But I believe if a woman keeps that helmet on or that king crown on, the relationship gonna fall apart anyway.
Right. Does this with this being vulnerable and telling your woman, things, is this by race? Do you feel that you can tell the Latin culture or the white Caucasian culture, Asian culture or something, and they'll take it better, they'll receive it better than Black women?
I think they receive it in a way that's not detrimental to you. So for instance, like Latin culture, I can't really say because in many cases, like we made this talk about it before, in the Latin culture, a man can be, no matter what his status is in the world, he's always the man in his house.
He's Poppy.
He's always Poppy. No matter what his status is, he could be sitting in front of Home Depot right now, waiting on a job to come home with nothing.
But he's still the man.
He's still the man.
And it's because of that word Poppy. They could have a dad, they call their dad Poppy. But when they get a man, they call him Poppy. So that mindset is still there.
But in the Black culture, most men, status is based on what we bring in with us. Our finances, our connections, whatever it is may be. That's what makes us, because you may not be the richest, but everywhere we go somewhere, somebody know who you are, or whatever. All these kind of different things. In a white culture, though, I wonder how a white marriage or white relationship, white and white is, because based on media, they make it seem like white men talk to women and they have these kind of relationships.
Right.
But they actually can open up and the women try to find ways to help out and stuff like that. I'm not sure though, but I don't really hear too much about, because like I said, we talked about this before, that whole
independent. Whatever you see on TV is what you kind of
I've never heard of a white woman ever on media talking about she's strong and independent. So I would think that the man, when he comes in her life,
he takes over at that point.
Yeah, anything she can do to help. Like I said, I don't want a woman to just be, like I said, a foot soldier.
Right, just follow orders
and everything else. So like even when I come to you with a problem.
But you still, like even in like on the football team, everybody has their positions and whatever, but the quarterback still he drives the ball down the field. Essentially, he gets his hand on the ball first, pause, and then he puts it where it needs to be.
Even that, like even beyond the quarterback, you got the head coach, right? And I think the man's supposed to be the head coach, and the woman's supposed to be the assistant.
And the assistant coach can call the offense from time to time.
Exactly. She steps in when she needs to step in. She gives support. She brings in her own ideas.
Because I like I said, even with me, I've coached Little League football before, and if I'm talking to like the O line, my assistant coach need to be talking to the quarterback so he can make sure he communicate. Because sometimes, like I said, we all see something different, based on our experiences and everything else. And that's what we talk about. Like even with emotional space, like I feel like for men, good men, we see a problem, we have a conversation about the problem, but we also have a solution to go with that.
Yeah.
Or it's a suggested solution.
Right.
If I have a beef with you or something like that, I'm gonna come to you with the problem. But I'm gonna have a suggested solution for us to how we're gonna go past that.
Right.
You either accept it or you give me something back.
Yeah.
But don't just say it ain't gonna work, but don't have an idea to make it work.
See, as a man, we are supposed to come across problems, and we don't make excuses for these problems. We make solutions. Problems and challenges is what makes us grow as a man. So so when we do have problems, we don't say, this is the problem. No, okay, this is the problem, and what else? This is a solution too.
Now you walk outside, I got a flat tire. I need to know the jacket and everything, so I get out here and change it. Or do I got AAA? What do I want to do?
Yeah, because when your woman comes to you, be like, hey, the lights are off, or we need money for this, or your kids come up say, hey, we need X, Y, Z. You can't be like, damn. That really, I'm sorry. No, you gotta be like, all right, I'm gonna get it.
You gotta figure out what's that. What's the next move?
Let me figure this out. That's funny you said it, because that's what I used to say when my kids were smaller or something like that. And at the time I was married, she'd come like, hey, we need the money for this here, this. Okay, cool. I get we need it. Do you have any plans? So I got okay. So I start thinking about like when I know this is something that wasn't a part of the budget. What can I cut out of the budget this month to pay for that?
Yeah.
Those kind of things or whatever maybe, but those are the solutions that most men have to go through. And if you run in a household, the difficult parts of running a household, like when something comes up, because I used to tell mine all the time, I have a budget every month. A flat tire ain't a part of the budget.
Yeah.
A pipe busting ain't a part of the budget.
You're not assuming none of that stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Like the AC go out, that wasn't a part of the budget.
None of that stuff.
Getting the compressor and all like God dang, the
stuff
AC
that break down isn't a part of the budget.
Yeah.
So when that stuff happens and you see it get fixed immediately, that's either one, I was saving more than I was supposed to and I was able to get to it, or I'm sacrificing something.
Something else is gonna have
to get that. So you're like, dang, Dad, you get a haircut in a month. I know.
How you think that pipe got fixed?
and these challenges, mishaps, or whatever, these are things that men stress about. They worry about.
Yeah.
But they can't show the fear. Like, oh man, I'm worried about how I'm gonna get this. How I'm gonna get this money. And yes, they need emotional space. And without that outlet, that's men is gonna have therapy, which they don't go to therapy.
No. Right. Well, you just told me what you just said though made more sense though. Like that outlet is usually one of three things. Is either some kind of sport, exercise, or whatever like that, drinking. And that's what a lot of men go to, drinking, and then some other kind of vice.
Yeah.
Be it the side chick who listens and just give it to you anyway, because you don't really care if she cares, because she ain't in your household.
But it's just good for you to talk.
Get it out.
You don't care what her opinion is. I guess you just want somebody to listen without having to deal with other emotional baggage that might come. I don't want to say baggage, but stuff. Like, you can try to share with your significant other or friend, but then now your worries are projected onto her, and then now she's worrying. Now you're both worrying. There's no solutions. Meantime, you still got to think about what do I need to do next?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I stay quiet until I can figure it out. I don't even say nothing. I'm like, if a problem occurs, I'm like, this thing happened. I'll see what I can figure out. But in my head, wheels is turning constantly, and I'm stressed out until I can figure out a way, or just the solution presents itself. But I'm not necessarily going to be my normal self. I might be that much quieter. I might not crack that much more jokes, but I'll just be like, everything okay? Yeah, just figuring things out. I don't need two people worrying about something and creating more stress for me, as opposed to me where I can handle me I'll figure it out. It might take a time, but I can figure it out. But I don't need you stressing out and
And
creating
constantly
more.
questioning me about
Questioning them if I
Oh,
have an
fam, you got
idea.
an answer?
Oh, you sure that's gonna work?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I was like, listen, let me try it, and then if it worked, if it's me doing it, it works. That's it. Problem fixed.
Yeah.
And that
If
makes
it
me
don't
the man
work,
again.
I go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Well, first of all, I really despise that sometimes when women do that. You think it's gonna work? Well, you got something better?
You apparently
I
had
just
no
came up.
idea.
That's what I came up with.
Yeah.
Like, let me know something else, or hey, elaborate on what I just said.
Right.
Yeah.
That part, but I guess side chicks do make something though. That's they therapists. You said we're gonna go to therapy.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the therapy for men is really just to get their mind off of whatever they're doing, their issues, right? So that's why a lot of men watch sports. They're watching sports and they're not thinking about the problems that they have. They just focus on the TV and just looking at plays go back and forth, back and forth. And that's why a lot of women don't understand. Like, why you like football? Why you like basketball? It gets my mind off of the real world.
Yeah, I really don't like it. This is the only thing I can turn my mind off of.
Yeah.
I was saying until I started some of the
Yeah.
commercials. I'm like, why you gonna put that commercial? I was
Yeah.
trying to kill my mind that problem.
And
Put that commercial up.
And then a lot of guys, I'm not condoning it, but a lot of guys have side piece because they take their mind off of the real world. They doing stuff with them. They leaving pain and going towards pleasure. And then when they get that pleasure, they're not thinking anything else. And then the woman be like, well, why can't I do this? I could do the same thing she could do. No, every time I look at you, I see that pain of the problems that we have.
That part, then like I said earlier though, me being vulnerable to you in my house can be thrown back on me or is a sign of weakness.
Yes.
Me being vulnerable to the chick outside the house, I don't care if she look at me weak.
Yeah.
I don't care because she ain't gonna never throw it back on me.
And she don't know the details of my life.
Exactly.
Right. I'm actually glad you said what you said earlier. No one here is advocating having or the usage of a side chick. It just was an example that came up because it happens in today's society. Just to be clear, nobody come for us.
You made a side chick sound like a toy.
Right.
You don't condone the usage.
Because that's honestly kind of what it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but if you look at it.
But that goes back to I really believe that part though. If with side, especially in that situation, she doesn't know the ins and out of your everyday details of life. But at the same time, whatever you tell her, even if she tells everybody else, it doesn't come back on you. Because if she gets mad at you for something, you the other woman. I can walk away and go find somebody.
Yeah, I don't care what you tell. I don't care about your friends.
Yeah.
My main chick.
I don't see your friends. I don't talk to your friends. I don't care what you tell.
Yeah. And honestly, a side chick is more like a massage therapist because she is massaging the muscle.
She's good, right?
So that is therapy in a way.
That goes back to, like I said, like sometimes it's almost refreshing talking to a stranger. Like say you go to a bar and you strike up a conversation and somehow you're just talking about your issues or whatever, and they might be listening, they might not care, but sometimes you just talking is enough. Like I don't care I don't know him. I'm never gonna see him again. Or
I got a visual of a bartender sitting there.
Or I'm never gonna see her again. Yeah. But that's essentially why people talk to a bartender. Like you're not my friend. I'm not gonna really see you like that.
Don't overdo it though. Like
what do you mean?
You ever been somewhere where you meet a random guy?
Yep.
And the guy
like
is
talking way
and
too much.
And the guy
is for a connection to happen before you can kind of unleash a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this guy's just coming full strength. Like, dude, I'm just trying to watch
the
show.
The guy, some random guy that you don't even know, just talking and talking and talking. He's like, you hear his pain, you feel his pain, and the only thing you can do is be like, yeah, I hope everything gets better.
Right, like I got nothing for you, bro.
Yeah,
I got nothing for you.
That'd be the worst.
3 weeks ago, man.
Me last week.
I'm like, yeah, man. Okay, man. And I'm with somebody else now. I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody else, and he cussed like, I'm like, what you going to? This man's like he hurt right now. I don't want to be a dick.
Right.
And a man only hurts for one or two things. Number one is a woman. Number two is money because he know he can make that up. So he's like, I'll be all right. But it's always about a woman. So the one that you was talking about, what was his issue? A woman?
Yeah,
I knew it.
It was both of them because he was telling me like he was pretty much talking about how his ex-wife, he has to pay alimony and she going for more money.
See?
And she got a whole dude to live with her, but they won't get married because the alimony
will stop.
Woman, money, those two things. Those are the two things that affect a man.
And I think he do pools or something. He like, the weather really messed me up. I can't get out here.
Everything was just going bad that month, bro.
Hey,
I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
shoot. The man house can burn down.
you right.
Car get repoed. That's okay.
But I have a friend right now. I don't talk to him that often, but the few times we'll, call each other just to, hey, see how's going on. It's always money. It's never going good, but it's always money.
Does he ask you to borrow money?
No.
Oh, okay.
See that part right there,
he just needs to. I don't know if he just needs to get out. It doesn't matter what kind of advice you give to get back on track or what you should be trying. Oh no, that won't work for me because I'm like, all right, well,
he make excuses.
So
that's not a man right there. He make excuses.
I'm saying, like, I see that some people like living in that misery because it gives them purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people like that part because if everything is calm, they got to do something to destroy it because they like living in chaos. Because like when it comes to money, I can't. We all, like I said, you get to a certain amount, but if money changes, you got to change the way you spend.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes it's okay to go through phases where, like, hey, fellas, I ain't going out for the next 3 months. I got to get my things in order.
We got to do what you got to do.
Honestly, I people like having reasons to not be successful, right? Because everybody has the opportunity to be successful, to make money, but they feel that it's easier to make excuses on why they can't be successful than actually going out and get it.
Right.
So that's why they complain. That's why if I hear a man complain about money, but then I see him chilling, playing video games, relaxing, watching all the Netflix series, whatever, then he's using his time, he's not using his time wisely.
Not using time wisely. So it's good you said that there. So something I want to do. If you, The Mountain is You, great book, talks about exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
How we make the mountains up in our head. So for instance, one of the things people said it back in the days, like with Jay-Z's fame, oh, he only got that because he did this. So we start associating wealth and richness with actually being a bad guy, or you have to do something
bad in order to,
or illegal or whatever it may be to be
successful.
Like, Jeff Bezos, rich as hell, he had to scheme over somebody,
or where the bodies are buried, or
all that kind of stuff. So we do that because that makes us feel better by not being in their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm a good guy, so that's why I'm not rich.
Yeah.
And we do those things all the time, as men or just humans in general, just put things in our own path to justify why we haven't got it.
Well, what I do every day, I ask myself, what is stopping me from being successful, living out my dreams? And the answer is nothing. And that's, as a man, nothing stops you from becoming rich. Nothing stops you from doing whatever you want in this world. Nothing stops you. You have the opportunity. Yes, the road to get there may be tough, but it should be, because it ain't for everybody. But nothing stops you from being the greatest man you can ever be.
Your best version. Yeah, 100%. Because I read that book, I was thinking about my past. I used to say things like, dang, we ain't get that this time, but I ain't want to sacrifice my family over the wealth, because that's what I always thought. Like, to be wealthy, you can have a family.
You gotta sacrifice.
You gotta say you can't be with your kids.
You don't get the wealth.
But like you're saying, everything comes with a sacrifice, but it's a balance. And wealth and riches to each other.
The balance comes later, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it's different though. Riches is different to everybody else. Like my level of rich may be 3.5 million. Marlon may be 3.5 billion. It all depends on whatever you want to get to when you get to that spot in your life.
See, everybody has their level of rich, but the trick is to have your level of broke, right? Everybody think being broke is having no money, having $0 in your account. No,
not necessarily.
Rich people, their level of being broke is maybe they have $100,000 in the bank. They feel that they broke. But us, normal people, they be like, man, I got all this money. No. I think everybody need to make their new level of being broke. If you have, let's say you have $9,999 in the bank, you broke. Make that be your bottom.
Not even you don't necessarily have to be that. If you can't randomly go out to dinner by yourself or with someone else, that could be your broke.
I say your broke is your broke. But like I say, he says that if you make your broke so high, you'll never get to low.
Yeah.
So like if you make your bank account like for instance, like back in the past, I used to say I had 10 grand in the savings.
Or
The
not,
moment I had to touch that 10 grand, like I'm in the house
and
like
no,
oh
and,
hell.
and I get what you're saying, but some people need those levels to happen.
Yeah.
You can't just be going from, like you said, zero money in the bank to now my broke is 10 grand.
You can't do it.
You have
Yeah,
to,
sure.
you have to, you
Because
think
at
you
some
could?
point, yeah,
It's possible.
it's possible. But
It's possible, but some people need to know what it feels like to quote unquote not be broke, to know that they don't want to be broke. So you can't just stop like you said, you got zero money in the bank. Now you're working and working until you get 10 grand. I mean, maybe that takes a week, maybe that takes a month, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 2 years because you're broke for a reason. Maybe you can't afford some of the bills you already got or the rent that you got, but it might take longer. And some people get discouraged.
but they say you got to sacrifice those things. So you got to either sacrifice things to get savings
right.
and so forth. So,
but some people get discouraged when things get too long.
It don't matter.
You're right.
That's fine. They can get discouraged. So that means they're not willing to make the sacrifice.
No, but sometimes you need a fruit here and there just to know what you're doing, and that you're on the right road.
I'm gonna say what Tony's saying, because I'm looking at it for myself, and I was so young and I started a family. I had different milestones to
There you go. Milestones
change
is a
my
good
brokenness.
word.
So like when I first started, I was living not check to check. I was in the negative all the time. I was that guy like, okay, I'm gonna overdraft this account. I'm going to overdraft this account for a big chunk because I got to pay the fee anyway.
Right.
To a point where I got to a point where I wasn't overdrafting and I had a little money on the savings. Then I got to a point where I felt I was okay. I wasn't rich, but I was okay when I can pay all my bills and had nothing in the bank. Then I got to the better.
You get hungry.
I get hungry. I'm saying, but like he was saying though, I kept my that was when I got to that level. When I got to this point, all my bills was paid and I had zero in the bank account. That's my broke. So I changed that to what now I got to move it up to the spot where I can pay all my bills.
Right.
If an incident happened, a flat tire, I can get my flat tire fixed.
Exactly.
Now I moved that up to that. Now I'm at a spot in life like it's milestones, but it's to get there. He was saying he's trying to say like by a certain age you should already have that milestone though.
Because of
but if you're broke, like you said, zero money in the bank, you ain't going out.
You start off at 9,000.
But you said as long as you can go out and get yourself something to eat, whatever.
No, I didn't. I said no. It's how you said it.
Yeah,
I didn't say it like how you just said it. I said if you can't for any reason, if you said because you went from having $0 in the bank.
Okay.
If you have $0 in the bank, you can't just go out and go to dinner to Cooper's Hawk or whatever. So if you can't at one point make your milestone that you can go out to dinner when you want to take a date out, whatever, that's a milestone. That's not a $50 meal. That's not a $60 meal.
That's a milestone.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying to stop.
Okay, yeah. The other milestone should be, when incidents happen.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm just saying this. You can't just jump to I need 10,000 in the bank. You start at zero.
And then the other milestone, fruit. I understand, but there's always a dollar amount, right? That's why you got to put the dollar.
Yeah.
For instance, if your tire or your transmission go out, hell, that's about $4,000. Now if that incident happened, then you're gonna be $4,000 in the hole. But if you had a set amount of money in the bank account,
I mean, it's
you ain't gonna skip a beat.
It goes without saying. Like I said, the whole dinner thing. I mean, I didn't say an amount, but it goes without saying. You need at least 500 to 1,000 in the bank at any given time.
Yeah, any given time, my bank account. So like,
and it's never going below that. It's just
$1,000.
Yeah,
you always have that.
That's your base.
You always have that.
People.
Like you always have that.
Oh, I think more than that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying you should. Regardless, you got $500 in the bank.
Yeah.
You got $500 in the bank?
Yeah.
I do. So that goes without saying.
Okay.
You got $500 in the bank.
Then that's fine.
That's never gonna be below that.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
but that's nothing though.
It's exactly.
The reason being, I think you need more than $500 in the bank or $1,000 because your rent or your mortgage is more than that.
I'm not saying that you need just that. I'm saying that's gonna always be there.
Yeah, like you keep.
That's not your milestone. You always got 500 in the bank.
Yeah, that's where you at.
Your level is always past that. But like for you to not have 500 in the bank,
that's that you pass, bro. Like for me, like right now, my next milestone.
Because you said $0 again.
So you feel that?
No, it's not a milestone. It's that
he just has a beginning part. Like that's like
you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that.
Everybody has a beginning.
Yeah,
You're gonna
my
have
son
that.
at 22. He
You
should
can't go
have
from zero.
at any given time of the day. I want right now at 22. He should have at least $500 in his account after everything's paid off, all his bills done. He still got $500.
And do you think he does have that?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
So you
what I'm
gotta go.
saying, wouldn't that be a good step? Like if he got $500 now, all the time, he got more than $500. Not his milestone, but he always got more than $500 in the bank.
For instance, my next milestone is I want to be a full functioning adult. I think all my bills on auto pay because I got that much money in the account that I don't
Right.
care, and no matter what is going in there,
Of course, yeah.
it's enough to cover everything.
That's definitely a
my
milestone.
bills to be
Yeah,
on
I want every
auto-pay.
last one of them.
Got all but one. I got my other mortgage. That's on auto pay.
Yeah.
This mortgage I don't got on auto pay. I was like, nah.
Sometimes you ain't gonna get it on time. Sometimes you ain't gonna get it on time.
It's gonna be on time, but still,
You got to
It might be 5 days.
seeing that chunk of money. This
It might be 5 days.
But can you imagine right now, like you get to your bank account to a spot where it has, let's say, for instance, you got a solid 6 figures in your bank account at all times.
You don't have to do the calculations.
You don't have to do the calculation.
You don't have to balance your book.
And then on top of every check is 15 grand, 20 grand. So your account is never gonna go under 100,000. That's what I want to get to. Like my account got 100K in there.
You should always watch your money, by the way.
Never go. But I know. And then I'm making enough money that I'm putting in. Let's say my bills are 8 grand for the month. I'm putting 15 grand in every month, so I know that 100K ain't gonna never go down. It's just gonna keep growing.
Right.
That's how I'll be like, okay, I'm good now. Now I could build on the next level of wealth that I want to get to. But that's my next milestone when I'm like, everything's on auto pay.
Do you feel that women have these same talks?
No.
I feel independent women should be.
It's a week to week conversation to have. What you doing this week? What you doing this weekend? Let's go do this. Let's go do that. But there's no conversations about what your finances are supposed to.
Those women who I believe these kind of conversations happen to those who, when money is being made. So like, for instance, if you got a woman that's making a $250,000, $300,000 a year, she got certain things like her nails are $100 every time she get them done. That's art. That's automatic.
Yeah.
There's like certain things like I think those women are having this conversation. How can I make that money grow? Everything else.
Like that might, like you just said, they probably thinking the same way we're having the conversation right now, but they're not having the conversation. Like they're not with their girls talking about like what we're talking about right now. You need to have this milestone. You need to always have this. And I don't think they're doing that.
But do you feel that they're having conversations about, I want a man who makes this and is this?
Yeah. Unrealistic.
So if they have those conversations of the type of man they want, and that type of man needs to make a certain amount of money, why would they talk about actually making their own money?
And I'm gonna tell you why. Society has pampered them in that way, though. Think about society, because at the end of the day, if Marlon loses his job tomorrow, loses his houses and everything else, right? He's a homeless man. That's it. Homeboys gonna help him out as much as they can, whatever it may be, but he's just a homeless man. The same thing happened to a woman. She has it's things out there for her to help her keep all these things. Do you understand how hard it's for a man to get on if he don't have kids to go out there and get help? Marlon couldn't go out there and put his name on a housing list as a single man.
No, not at all.
They're gonna reject his application.
Yeah.
You have women are allowed to have their own money. Men aren't. So when they have those conversations about, I need a man that makes such and such, it's not because they plan on being not necessarily that they plan on being a stay-at-home wife or you're going to pay for everything. No, they want you to pay for everything while I still have my money and I can stack it up. And like you just said, Justin, it's almost impossible for a woman to fail because they're always going to get help, whether they've been stashing a whole bunch of money for years, the whole time we was together, or there's programs that could.
And it's men. Like I said, my thing is men.
Or just men.
It's always that men have, because if you see a woman, how many times you actually saw a woman walking in the rain? I don't know, maybe just me though. If I see anybody walking in the rain, I have a thought like, I think I want to pull over and give him a ride, or I done gave out. I've done that. Number of times giving out umbrellas. I've actually pulled over and given out whole punches. I used to go to Walmart. They have them for $1.
I've done that.
I do that either.
I do it like I saw a woman with her child. Y'all, I'm going the same direction. Y'all jump in, don't get wet.
Really?
So, yeah.
Good guy.
My question for y'all is, homeless people. We ride on the street, we see homeless people begging for food, money, whatever. Do you see more men homeless or women?
For sure, it's always men.
Yeah.
Always men.
I know a couple women here and there on the streets, but
That's
it's
the
mostly
South.
men because again, it's programs built to help those situations out. Like
Before they help the man, they will help the
how many
woman.
men's shelters have y'all ever seen in your life? I've seen at least 4 women's shelters in South Florida right now. But how many men's shelters have you heard of?
Damn.
None.
How
It's
many
just
times you
shelter.
seen
It's
on
just a
the
shelter.
TV?
It's
Yeah,
not a
just how
men's
many
shelter.
exactly. And then when that case come up, I know this for a fact. Homeless shelter stuff like that. If a man and a woman come up together, the
They
woman
take
gets
the
the
woman
bed
first.
first.
Damn. It sucks for a man.
Kind of does.
They just kick you out.
Got
All right.
got a lot on their backs a lot of times.
Okay, because it's always thought that we, like you said earlier, we gonna find if we gonna fix the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. And there we got every opportunity in this world to be
To
great.
fix the problem. And then I'm telling you, when you see a man struggling, the last thing anybody they blame him. Like I just be honest with you, I'm one, if you want to call it racism or everything else like that, I got a few quotes about myself. One, if I see homeless people,
Yeah.
I don't help homeless white guys out.
So okay.
I give it to the black because I'm like, you already had a head start and you messed up.
Yeah, you still managed to.
Yeah. So, man,
God,
so you made me just think of something. So when we see a man struggling, we blame him.
Mhm.
When we see a woman struggling, we blame
Society or a man.
Yeah. Damn.
Lifetime already. Like that's the Lifetime channel.
Because the man did that to her.
Did that to
She
her.
didn't do it to her.
Yeah.
Her
Something
dad
happened
it's either
in
her
their
daddy or
relationship.
some dude.
Yeah.
It's either her daddy or a dude. Like if a woman's doing bad, she ain't got no daddy in her life. Her daddy screwed her over.
That's why there's always that universal phrase that till this day has never died. All men are dogs.
Yep. But again,
or men ain't shit.
And a dog is a man's best friend.
and if you think about it, just look at society as TV, media, everything. We keep that cycle going. Tyler Perry made billions off of that cycle. Men ain't shit.
Men being the issue, men being the bad guy, or men messing everything up.
Even when I used to watch Lifetime shows back in the days, and the woman got caught cheating and killed somebody, and then by the end of the show, her daddy taught her how to do that, or something like her daddy molested her. It was all like, God dang, she just couldn't be crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Had to be somebody else that caused that pain.
Don't watch your lifestyle.
See, I think with society, that's what society puts out there, but society needs to put out, how do you find a good man? They don't.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you actually think there's a market out there for that? Like,
I don't think so.
It ain't. It's not.
Nobody's going to that seminar.
It should be.
Nobody go. Just pictures. Forget about seminar. Watching a movie, a woman out there being a good woman and find that good. It's always she had to go through some hell, and then that man comes along and saves her, and all that kind of stuff, or that kind of situation. It's never like a woman that's going on. She's a good woman. He's a good dude.
You know why?
Why?
Because women don't appreciate good men from jump. Because women have good men from jump.
I'm laughing at
then they hurt that man, and then that man is like, you know what? Fuck all women.
That's it.
He becomes a player. He dogs these women out. Now the women that he dogs out, they're like, oh man, he dogged me out. He hurt me. I love him.
I'm saying my thing is that she take that pain. She take that pain to the next good guy.
Yeah,
vicious cycle.
And I'm talking about, I'm thinking about the movie. I think like a man. Tajmi Henson when she was like the CEO and all that kind of stuff, and he was just a food truck guy trying to make his living. All them out them dirty, but then once he got himself on his feet,
that's why all of a sudden he was visible.
No, she came in there and trying like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was visible.
I'm gonna help you out.
He got a little change. Probably some red bottoms.
Now he got his own truck and he lived his dream. Yeah. He made it happen. I'm so proud of you. And everything like, man, and then he took it back.
Yeah.
Again, that's how it always goes, right? He took it back.
And on an average situation like that, man would be like, nah, I'm good.
So that's the beauty of like social media, because people can see your progression, see you come up, and then you have certain people want to circle back, like, hey, how you been? I've been great, as you can see.
Well, they said, well, I see you doing your thing out there.
Yeah,
I am.
And I'm like, I don't see those pictures no more of your boyfriend. What happened? Oh, we're not together. What about you? Are you single?
For a reason. Happily.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get together sometime.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, like I ain't trying to circle that wagon again.
It obviously didn't work out for us. Let's just end this on a good.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because I met somebody out at a spot. That we was out. I don't know if I told y'all. So it was somebody out at a spot, and me and her, we never really like kicked it like that. We probably talked on the phone a couple times, but it was like 8 years. So I saw her, and I see her as the same person, But I know me. I'm different. I came up since the last time I saw her. So she the same person. I'm seeing this person out on the scene everywhere in pictures, videos, everywhere. She out on the scene. So I see her and she's like, "Hey, how you been? You know, I'm single. What about you?" I'm like, "I'm single." She's like, "Oh, I think we need to get to know each other." I was like, "You think so?" I was like, "Why?" "Well, because I'm at the age now that I'm blah blah blah."
Oh, that's where you just told me you're settling right now.
Yeah.
Flag on the play.
So
It's a
basically,
flag.
she said, "Hey, it's the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're settling on me.
I need a score." So I'm throwing this ball up and I'm hoping that you catch it.
Yeah, we going
Out of here.
This is the hell no. Catch it.
You talking about get to know each other? What was y'all doing the other times? Texting here and there, getting to
Yeah.
know. Like, what you mean?
Like, you ain't like you do.
I was like, "Nah, I'm okay."
You just told me you're at that age where you now have to settle.
Yeah.
Out of here, dude.
Nah, and now you can see me.
Yeah.
Nah,
Out of here.
you lost your chance.
Lost it.
Yeah.
But now we talk about that whole flag on the play. Just to change the subject a little bit.
Mhm.
Shout out to the Colorados. We saw that ass what they took yesterday.
I didn't even watch that game. Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was like 24-0 real quick. But
how did it end?
40-something to 6.
Y'all want to start new when y'all good.
Huh?
Y'all want to start new when y'all good.
How long that was?
50 minutes.
God dang.
Yeah.
It flew.
God dang.
Yeah. It's up to you. I mean, you wanted to mention something about Colorado real quick though.
I'm just saying, like, man, y'all take it easy on Dion.
Okay.
To like every other college team.
No, we can do a new one on that
just
one.
as
That's a whole one by itself.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Bet.
All right. Thank y'all for watching.
Thanks. Peace.
I had my phone on the charger this whole time.